Hey guys, it's Vince. Today in this video we are going to be taking a look at another failed attempt at someone to sell a plasma system with a controller that is simply built incorrectly. Again, there is one positive note to this system, and that is that it's actually being sold on eBay. So whoever does decide to purchase this, if you don't find my video or if you find it afterwards, you're protected by eBay. Let's cover some of the big knots that we see. First and foremost, I want to draw your attention to some things that are really basic. And when I say they're basic because I deal in this genre all the time. This is what I do as a career, so I see this done constantly. And that is, if you see a power supply, and in this instance it's right here, we've got a little 5 volt right here, or 10 volt, whatever that may be, 12. When you see a power supply that is speckled or has lots of different marks on it, and you see that they look almost like watermarks, usually that means this unit has either been used or it's been exposed to humidity. These are key points to think about if this system is said to be new, and in which case this one is. I know that sounds basic, but you should always be looking at your components and spot the obvious. If something looks out of place, you wouldn't buy a car with complete scratches down the side when the seller is claiming it to be new or like new. In this instance, once again, the seller is claiming the unit's new. We see here, these look like water spots. The finish on the power supply is typically chrome. I know mine's typically chrome. And when they come in, they're protected, meaning they have an overlay on them. When you see this, this is signs that this has been manipulated, handled. I highly doubt you get speckles like this just handling the unit unless it's been put in a really poor environment. But one of the most obvious points to look at is start with the basic components and just use common sense. If it looks used or looks out of place in terms of cosmetic features, definitely question the seller. I would definitely ask about that. The next thing I want to draw your attention to, and these seem really basic, I've covered this in so many videos. First and foremost, we see solder connections done here. The individual didn't even insulate the connections. Okay, and I've brought this up before. If you install anything in your shop, your house, whatever it may be, that has homeowners insurance or commercial-based insurance, you better make sure that the controller or electronics, whatever it may be, a shop tool, is properly built in the sense that it corresponds with that policy. And when I say that, you may not get paid. What you see here, what looks to be completely obvious, this individual did not even, attempt to insulate these. I don't understand what the principle is. You could see some of the joints are crooked. What that tells me is he's definitely, just from what this appears, it does not look like he's using flux as he should be. You can see the joints are very messy and nothing looks clean and smooth. When flux is used, you get a smooth, glossy finish. If you review any of my previous videos, that's something that I love to look at. I think a lot of guys like to look at it. It gives it a real finished appearance. You can see here, this is a mess. He also jumped the lead. This black lead is coming over here and jumping. If we look at the remaining part of this system, we've got one ground, I believe, is over here. And I do not see, matter of fact, these are the only cables we see, and I can tell you right now, just looking at this cable, I'm 98% sure he is not using double shielded cables as he should. There is certainly not a ground bar located in this controller, and there is no fan located in this controller. So for such tight constraint, we do have heat sinks on our drives, but with 2 power supplies in there and those drives, they are going to get hot, and there should be an evacuation fan for cooling on this controller. The biggest red flag that I want to draw your attention to is that he is using a Proma THC 150. Now, for my plasma guys out there, Proma is basically a relay-based THC, just like all the rest. One relay goes up, one relay goes down. It's all based on arc voltage. But what we see here on how this unit is wired, and this is what I want you guys to really pay attention to. I've got Proma's user's manual right here. And I want to just show you this, just so there's no punches being pulled. You can see exactly what I see. This is straight out of the THC 150 user's manual direct from Proma. We're going to come down to page 4. Okay, if we look here, when connecting directly, meaning the Proma, use the shortest possible cables for connecting the plasma source with the THC controller. It is recommended the THC controller to be directly or located directly at the plasma source. Now, why is that? It's supposed to be located directly at the plasma source because then the voltage is once again going to be the most accurate for your THC. Okay, we don't want to have distance, and we also don't want to have any more EMI than is already created because we know it's a massive amount. Now, if we look at this system, he mounted the THC within the controller. That's not going to be mounted anywhere near your actual plasma cutter. So this was completely disregarded, and if it wasn't disregarded, then he obviously just didn't do it or didn't care, whatever it may be. The next point I want to bring up, which is even more important, because I've discussed this in all my videos, and my guys out there using plasmas will reiterate this, to reduce the possibility of the short circuit entering the CNC system. Let's read that again. To reduce the possibility of the short circuit entering the CNC system, the connection should be made with a shielded cable. The shielding must be connected to the ground on the CNC system side. Do not connect the shielding to the THC controller side. Now, this is interesting because if we look at this, I'm just going to zoom in on the PDF. You can see what they're showing here. Long line shield, and this is direct from the THC. Here's the plasma controller again, or I should say the plasma system again, excuse me. And what we see here, once again, is mounted inside the controller. So we already know that's incorrect. We've already pointed that out. But what's more important is that they're defining, once again, direct from the user's manual, page 6. Matter of fact, we'll just scroll down. You can see the page right here. This unit is stating directly to be used with shielded cable, and they're even directly telling you how to work with it. You can see the ground here in the broken dotted line, long line shield here, and I'm going to tell you right now, this cable, just like all the other cables when dealing with the plasma system, they should be double shielded in best practice. Once again, two forms of shielding, mylar foil, tin braided copper, in conjunction will yield the best possible results to mitigate both forms of EMI in both high and low frequencies. Plasma systems are a beast when it comes to producing EMI. This system that's being sold for $13,000 plus with this controller is, in my form, a disgrace. I don't know what else to say. There's really, again, there's no way to hide this, guys, in terms of build quality. If you're noticing things out of place when I'm pulling stuff right from the user's manual, you guys can look this up. This is a THC Proma 150. As a matter of fact, if I zoom in, you can see right here it says Proma. All of this terminalization is, of course, the Proma, and it shows, once again, that there's a disregard for what's being done with the actual user's manual. So you guys have got to pay attention to who you're purchasing from. I'm seeing more and more guys claiming to be everything from engineers to, you name it, system fabricators. They have all kinds of terminology. They come from different fields. And the bottom line is this. They may be okay with the chassis because what they typically do is purchase chassis from outside sources that have already got the mechatronics done. When it comes to the actual controller, there is no shortcuts. There is no free lunch. You either have the knowledge or you don't. And if you can't implement it, it's going to be found. And if you look at this, we can see all kinds of problems here. I mean, again, I only see two grounds here. There's no ground bus bar for his actual terminals coming into his drive. I see nothing here. This thing, again, is using just bare leads. You can see that. Good luck to whoever purchases this and in trying to get a stable system. Again, motion with a robot that's supposed to be a production robot does not dictate stability. So be careful, guys. Once again, this is a $13,000 plus chassis. And the claim to fame is that he's trying once again to include everything, you know, and they try to make the deals as sweet as possible. Look at what's going on. I have to give him credit on another aspect in the sense that he at least tried to show his work. In some form, he's proud of this. Unfortunately, when we bring up the user's manual, we can see mistakes here. And this isn't me actually going through and saying, hey, this is my preference. This is direct from Proma. And once again, user's manual right here. So it's the operation manual. He just had to read the user's manual. So what does that say? I mean, in my eyes, I think it's telling you guys to be very careful on what's being done. He obviously thinks he's doing the right thing. He's selling on eBay. He's trying to give you the best possible product. He's got very good feedback, but I can tell you right now, this is not built correctly. And going by the user's manual, that's just one step. There should be a ground bus bar whenever we have a multitude of access being used. We don't see that. Like I said, are these double shielded cables? We have no idea. There's no grounding being done. You want to have a stable production robot, guys. Make sure you take your time, research what you're doing. If you need a consultation, once again, contact me. That's how most of these pictures come to me. That's how this system came to me. And again, I'm pointing out facts, and what I do is I'll just send you the user's manual, and you be the judge. You decide if your $13,000 is safe in someone's hands who can't take the time. What is this user's manual? I think it's only 7 pages, guys. It's 7 pages. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think that the pictures really speak 1,000 words. And once again, doing your homework always pays off. So please be careful. Once again, if you need help, reach out. When I see something like this, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying because someone's going to drop that kind of money and hope that they're starting a business, because I don't know anybody doing that for a hobby at that level, and then they get this. I mean, it's really scary. So again, thank you all for your support. I hope that this saves at least one of you. Take care.